The mountain Elgon region, locally known as Masaba, has over the past 8 years been affected by the recurrent landslides and floods in Bududa and Butaleja respectively. The area is home to more than 11,000 people. The population density in the region is 950 persons per square kilometer in comparison to the national average of 160 persons per square kilometer. The overpopulation in both areas has brought about encroachment on most of the land, resulting into the disasters. Landslides and floods damage farmland and destroy basic infrastructure, including roads, bridges, schools, and above all, people's lives. All these happen as a result of population pressure, land encroachment, deforestation, overfarming, swamp reclamation, and heavy rains. When the Elgon region receives heavy rains, River Manafa that originates from uphill transports enormous volume of water to the lowland area where Butaleja lays. This causes increase in the water levels, forcing water beyond the river banks into people's homes, hence causing multiple deaths, destruction of crops, property, and livestock. In 2010, a severe landslide claimed over 100 people in Bududa and washed away about 500 houses, several acres of crop gardens, destroyed protected drinking water sources, among others, in Himutu and Mazimasa sub-counties in Butaleja district. More than 7,000 people were also displaced by the floods. On the 24th June 2012, torrential rains caused the serious landslides in Bwamwalukani parish, burying the villages of Bunamwanga and Bunakasala, affecting approximately 5 acres of land. The situation in the Elgon region remains precarious as cracks on the slopes indicate that another landslide is imminent. To this effect, the government of Uganda developed comprehensive national policies concerning disaster preparedness and management. There are non-government agencies working toward fixing the problem of landslides and floods. They include the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and the Red Cross. Researchers have identified 3 key issues that should be considered to address the risks in the region. These include resettlement management, land management solutions, and population pressures. The first issue is resettlement management. This involves moving people from high-risk to low-risk areas that could save people from both landslides and floods in Bududa and Butaleja. Considered under resettlement is rezoning high-risk areas for no settlement, resettling people in newly built peri-urban centers, creating temporary settlement after disasters, and building early warning systems. However, natives have different attitudes on being relocated. Whereas some are seemingly compliant and welcome, others are opposed to resettlement because of their different beliefs and experiences.
It is one of the places during the conversation whereby candidates, they come here. Inside here, we believe there are spirits which give candidates who are going to be circumcised courage. Then once they come here, they reach there, they dance. The spirits also feel well. Then the candidates go back and they get circumcised. It is believed that once you don't come here, and when you are going for circumcision, you not perform well. That is why everybody, every candidate has to come here. And every clan has to come on the Saturday when they are going to circumcise him.
Papa kubona abona bali miyebibiko futhi kenga abashafu nomla wamenyakira ali mawo bani ngaho futhi kenga kataru abali kubona ndabo bikerenye sibiyagwa nyakota byamenya bya ikira kunana uko kuko ndibako kosazi kuno kwa kunyisha pesa kutakuwa leti ngawatire mtu ali kwa kumanya maruna uri right mama muntu kundimo uyeto hotala yatakola mumbera kali kota bo muntu uyeto holuli Bulongera ko no mujyanje ko bana mujyanje ubone te hokari ruswayi kandi ko bo yishipo
abantu bano banaliriye ngaji kubanga nganguma ngabanaje nganguma muta nabangisi banja ninga nganguma besa nibala mati kusengukire kwenani mati kwenda hakukana kali chevwa nini abantu bano abasehulu befwe n'abasehulu befwe banga bamenyire obumwa kasookedde kubengo
bahuragara mukugana kwaweta nimugari yazindera zirire amaye sanyira bayawo ko bagale kwetsa kwamenya ni nabo ngakumenyano kana wabona no for example ngameze bajyamu muhambatira kimutsefe rimwe ngalisi sole la hono tati tabange isi sania tayati wedeho.
If you came to Bududa and asked people which proposal is really key, it's resettlement, because the recent landslides which occurred in Nibumbo, where you people went, you find that people are staying in real risk areas, and you will not tell them that please temporarily move and go back. They really need to leave those areas because they are not safe for staying. When we're doing when we're doing rapid assessment for those areas, I don't know that you managed to go to all discuss, but there are about 11 of them occurring in one single sub-county. So you find that when it starts to rain, people get scared and they are forced to run. So I don't believe anyone is comfortable living under such tension. So resettlement, relocating those people from those risk areas to safer areas is the best thing to do.
Although temporary settlement does not require extensive investment, the damage caused by landslides and floods makes people's lives difficult when they return to their homes. While temporary settlement would not require extensive investment including building permanent settlements, a variety of secondary effects may arise from this. For example, disease outbreaks due to insufficient hygiene facilities and food scarcity due to loss of crops. The construction of early warning systems would mobilize community resources, alert them about the disasters, and create jobs for members of the community.
Ninanjo omulimo gwange kwegamba ndi mulimi naye nembeera member mu Red Cross. Red Cross emirimu gye tukola tulabirira amataba nga wagaba nga gaze tugenda tulabula abantu ne tutwala lipooti. Red Cross.
It's questionable on whether a reliable, convincing early warning system could be built at the national and local levels, and besides, its construction would be very expensive. The second issue identified by the researchers is land management solutions. The principal natural causes of landslides and floods are heavy rains, soil properties, overuse of the land, and overpopulation. Although there are options for re-establishing soil stability, residents often lack the tools to implement widespread programs to do so. After the 2010 landslides, most people who attempted to desilt and plant along river banks used hoes and small spades. Additionally, there is difficulty in finding clean water. The water table is very high, allowing for construction of only shallow latrines that can remain in place for short periods of time. Land management solutions explore ways to diversify the livelihoods of people in the region with the goal of breaking the cycle of dependence on subsistence agriculture and overutilization of the land. Some of the proposals include reforestation, community effort to maintain wetland, developing the scheme of rice but not in the wetland, desilting riverbeds, building bridges and raising existing ones, government's assistance in drilling water where possible. Also construction of health center tools in remote areas, building sanitation drains for the reduction of malaria, empowering communities to be responsible for managing the wetland during the dry season, and building high floors in the construction of new buildings in the low areas. Proposals for reforestation would stabilize the soil, store nutrients, and reduce soil erosion. It can also diversify livelihood and family income, reduce damage caused by floods, and slow down silting of riverbeds. Nonetheless, trees reduce the amount of available land for agricultural use and diminish farmers' income from crops. Planting forests of rich commercial value would bring in economic benefits. However, since people are used to cutting trees, their primary role in preventing disasters can be lost. Developing the rice scheme would increase rice production to generate income, but the growing population in the region will probably exhaust the fertility of the wetland, and this does not address the problem of flooding clearly. Due to the absence of drain pit latrines, natives are at high risk of getting diseases.
Amagi gano ni gaja gabane kifuba era kagana mu bulwaye obo kusinga amagulu gano kwagana mu bulwaye amagulu gano gasimba kwagana mu bulwaye obwesuna omusujja, kwagana mu bulwaye obwokwedukana obwokunyalala. Kale obulwaye obwo njo businga okututawaanyanga.
The construction of bridges would facilitate transportation for local residents, improve efficiency of transporting agricultural products, and increase farmers' income. However, bridges are often damaged during the rainy season, and repeated lack of maintenance could make bridges dangerous. Empowering communities to be responsible for managing the wetland during dry season and maintaining the water channels would reduce pressure from agriculture on the land and restore our riverbanks. But communities may focus more on the short-term benefits than the long-term benefits. The third issue that should be considered to address the risks in the region is population pressure. The rapid growth of population has driven people to exhaust natural resources, which increases the probability of landslides and floods. Population growth also leads to economic consequences, often poverty and passing of family land into smaller plots. Due to this, only about 65% of Mountain Elgon's residents have achieved the primary level of education, about 15% have not attended school at all, and many children drop out of school to work on farms or get married. The issue therefore intends to explore ways to alleviate population pressures, including those resulting from a lack of education, overly large families, and poor health outcomes. The proposals include the construction of vocational schools for both boys and girls, campaign on family planning outcomes, construction of health center tours in remote areas, promotion of discussion of land use as it relates to family size, taking steps to prevent child marriage, among others. Vocational schools create more skilled labor for service industry, delay marriages and pregnancies among females, and the population growth rate can be slowed down. It also enables skills to be passed on between generations.
Mohamed Ali, Deliberative principle of Taleja, majoring in mechanical engineering. My son also trained in motor vehicle technician course, which involves mechanics, and from that experience, he used those skills to man our rice mills, and he's faring very well.
Parents with skills are more likely to allow their children to go to school as well. However, it can be hard to promote education in some regions due to costs and fees, and technical schools are generally stigmatized in some areas. With the people in the Elgon region aware of the problems they face and the possible solutions, the power now rests in their hands.